Hey, this is Dan. Thanks for joining me. I just wanted to do a little bit of a commentary on a couple of these top 10 food videos. I absolutely do not agree with them. I believe that they're doing a fine job at expounding the politically correct nutrition, which is fine, but if we look around the world today, we can see that our politically correct, economically based nutrition programs aren't working. We've got diabetes with the little kids, we've got cancers rampant of every kind, arthritis, and you name it. We've got every ailment you can get. And we've all been eating the eggs and the nuts and the grains and the beans and all these other and cooked foods. Okay, I'm a raw foodist. I'm an extremist as well, so let me warn you. But I've already gone down the road of what these other videos have talked about. I've gone down these roads all my life as a bodybuilder, and now I'm a cyclist, and I've been working on nutrition for a long time. And let me tell you what I feel the top 10 foods are. Number 1, spinach. Leafy green spinach. Alkalize, detoxify, protein, 50%. Great food. Now, am I going to get into the nutrition of any of these foods? No, I'm not going to slang off a bunch of vitamin B's and all these other things. Why? Because I never knew a single person in my whole life that ever said, I wish I had more vitamin B when they woke up in the morning. I wish I had more calcium. I wish I had more magnesium. Have you ever heard anyone say that? Not one time in your life. But I bet you that you've heard somebody or several people in their lifetime say, man, I wish I had more energy. Yeah, so these politically correct linear nutritional programs are fine. They make sense on paper, but experientially, and when we look at what we're dealing with in the world, something's not working. So on these lists, what you've got are these high acid forming foods. Loaded. And do we really need to be any more acidic? Do we really need to be any more dehydrated? Do we really need any more cooked food that is challenging and difficult to digest? I have nothing against any food. I have nothing against any of the foods on those lists. But it's very imbalanced in my opinion. Human beings right now are experiencing incredible levels of acidosis. Acidosis equals stiffness, pain, and cell congestion. Alkalinity is dispersing and removes inflammation and pain from the body. So if you want to follow those other top 10 videos, go for it, but I wouldn't recommend it because you're going to end up needing some kind of painkiller or some kind of, you're going to live with pain, stiffness, and acidosis. Nothing is wrong with those foods. It's just that there is just too much of them. We live in an 80% alkaline world, 20% acid. Nutritionally, we're consuming just the opposite, 80% acid forming foods and 20% alkaline forming foods. So my top 10 list of foods for health and energy. I don't care anything about nutrition because nutrition never healed anybody. Nutrition never made anyone feel better. I'm not saying that there's not deficiencies. Yes, there's deficiencies all over the place. But the reason why there are deficiencies is because there's no systemic energy. The nervous system is tired, the adrenals are weak, and the thyroid is not functioning. So the blood flow is acidic, which is coagulating. The lymph flow, of course, is just acidic and backed up and congested. And that's where the cellulite's coming from. That's where the overweight's coming from. And that's where the inhibited cell function is coming from. So like I said, there's nothing wrong with the foods in those videos. It's just that if those are the top 10 foods and you continue to consume those in that manner, we're going to continue to go down the acid road. Now some people, like the dietitian guy from Texas or Natalie, they both look pretty good. And they probably both have strong constitutions. The problem is in this world today, not everyone has a strong constitution. In fact, we are getting weaker and weaker and weaker as a species. Why? Because of the acidosis. So we've got to look at this paradigm and start to think, maybe we're not doing everything right. Maybe this politically correct, paper book knowledge of nutrition really needs to be examined. So like I said, here's my top 10 list of foods, real quick. And it really isn't a top 10 list, it's just going to give you a general overview of what is going to help a human organism to thrive on planet Earth. Every living organism on this planet, since its inception, has eaten the living organism. So every living organism on this planet consumes other living organisms for its life, until the human beings started to put fire under their food and burn it up. So it's time that we took a totally new approach to nutrition. Let me just spout off, and I'll throw some pictures on here on this video. Okay, like I said, number one, I got started on spinach. I mean, what needs to be said about spinach? Delicious, alkalizing, easily digestible protein. It keeps the bowels clean. Number two, celery. Celery is the number one healing herb in this world. Why? Because everyone can get celery. It's totally inexpensive, and it alkalizes the body because of its high sodium content. So if you've got pain, stiffness, or inflammation, celery juice. Number three, coconuts. Little Thai coconuts or coconuts that are growing on the beach. A little less accessible for most people. I don't recommend the dry brown ones. They're fine, they're okay, but they're old. Some of the fat could be rancid. Try the young white coconuts. You can get those at Asian markets or co-ops around the world. And so the number four best food is apples. Apple a day keeps the doctor away. I would rather say 5 apples a day keeps the doctor away. As a raw foodist and an old apple farmer, I used to live on an apple farm, my parents, I can tell you that apples are the way to go. Apples will keep you clean and energized. Very low protein, high energy, high fiber food. Remember, too much protein is instant acidosis. Your body can only handle so much protein. You may want to start thinking in different terms. You may want to start thinking, instead of protein, which are long chains of amino acids, you may want to start thinking about consuming amino acids in plant foods, because then you're going to be able to utilize those amino acids to build your own protein. You don't want to take the protein from an animal or an egg, and then your body has to break that down and spend all that energy breaking that down so that it can just get a few amino acids for its own cell repair. No. You want to get amino acids from plant foods and build your own clean, highly functional cells. Okay, so number 5, grapes. Lymph busters. If you're having any kind of acne or any kind of illness or disease condition at all, you're going to want to look to the lymphatic system. And if you're going to want to find a food that's going to move the lymphatic system and get it flowing again, any type of breast cancer, any type of thyroid issue, or headaches from too much dairy products. I don't recommend dairy products at all. At one time in history, possibly dairy products were consumable foods. Now they're just loaded with poisons and pesticides and every kind of hormone that you can imagine. You do not want the modern dairy products in your diet. If you're going to do dairy, get yourself some goats, get a cow, and milk them yourself. Okay, number 6, kale. Mega high protein, easy access, and again, very inexpensive. Lots of protein in kale, lots of chlorophyll. Number 7, bananas. Easy to get to, you know. I'm just trying to be practical here. There's a million different foods that are exotic and beautiful and wonderful, but these are all just simple foods that anyone can get. Bananas are just great source of calories for someone who wants to eat clean. There's a million things you can do with bananas. Freeze them and make some ice cream, or throw them in a smoothie. Number 8, avocado. Avocado. I mean, what else do you need? I don't suggest eating any more than maybe one avocado for an athlete every day. For most people, a half an avocado a day is enough. We've obviously been consuming way too much fat in this society, and you do need some good fats for brain function, cell and lubrication of the joints and whatnot, but overdoing it on fat is not going to work for you in the long run. So just be very aware of what happens when you eat large amounts of fat, and notice how you feel afterwards. Number 9 is cucumber, of course. You want to get hydrated because why? We are approximately 70% water, give or take, when we're born. By the time we reach around age 55, some of us have gone down as low as 50 to 55% in water. We are very dry, we're very cracked, and we are having stiffness and inflammation because we're dehydrated. So if you want to get hydrated, cucumber juice and all the vegetable juices, really, unaltered, uncooked. Do not damage your food by heating them up and destroying the life energy, because it's really all about energy. And of course, the last food on this particular list for this video is grapefruit. Grapefruit is a winner. Energy. It'll also move the lymphatic system, and it's also going to allow, in all these fruits and vegetables, and particularly grapefruit, there's an osmosis, a diffusion. The water goes into the cells, the astringent and antioxidant properties can penetrate the cell, neutralize acidity, and carry it out through the lymphatic system. So it's very important that we remember to think in terms of nerve system. So the way to recharge the nervous system is to sleep, and fruits are good for the nervous system. Number 2, blood. Keep that blood clean. How do you do it? Oxygen and green chlorophyll. And number 3, lymphatic. Move that lymph system. If you want to live a good, healthy, wholesome life and be active and flexible and be healthy well into your old age and active, you're going to want to move that lymph system, and you're going to want to keep those kidneys clean, you're going to want to breathe deep, and you're going to want to make sure that your liver's functioning properly. So it isn't just about food, it's about utilization. Clean your glands and eat fruits and vegetables, and you will succeed in health levels that are indescribable. Your heart will fill up with energy, your mind will blow up with creativity, and you will have a body that will not be able to be stopped. Raw fruits and vegetables, those are the top 10 foods. Yeah, thanks, man.